right, let's rock.
All right, let's get it on. Rick, welcome back to the Vineyard, Wines and Spirit. Castle Cigars.
Castle Cigars.
Back here at the Cigars at the Castle podcast. I am Mufassa. I'm here with Rick, the king of the castle, as always. Rick, how's your month been?
Let me tell you, the month, October already. Wow, fast. I know everybody knows me out there for the jewelry industry. Business is coming up, and it's been fast and furious right now because what happens, everybody, I'm planning everything for Christmas. It's October already, and 36 years doing that, I know what I got to do and how long I have to do it.
Yes.
So it's pretty exciting. Really preparing for that. Also here, though, has been great. If you look behind us, we kind of switched things around. I switched the back room around a little bit. I implemented a little more seating, and so people could come back and have a little more privacy if they wanted.
Right.
But this sign here was the original sign from the building. When I took this out, we slid in Castles.
Yes.
So I kept it for a little nostalgia. This business here was for I think it was 16, 18 years it was here.
Wow.
So the place does have some longevity.
Yes.
So
this place has roots in this area.
yeah, definitely has some roots. It's a good place. It's easy to get to off 890, Route 7, the Thruway. I mean, last night I had a gentleman come in. He's a scout for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh.
And it's his second time in here. So when he comes into town, he always finds the castle. And that's quite an honor for somebody to remember you when they're back in town.
Right.
Because, people get a lot of things on their minds. They go, I'll just go to this one now or whatever. But to come here and do that, it's great. It's just you're doing things right when that happens.
Right. And especially a globetrotter like him, I mean, he's all around the country. He goes to different places all the time.
All the time.
So if he's picking your shop, that means you're doing something right here.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
When you're in business, you only can gauge by the people and your end numbers. In business, you always have to make money. That's business. But you're not out to gouge anybody or to, take advantage of anybody like that. So, but that's how you gauge business, though, in my world is you come back, you found me. That's worth $1 million in my book.
Yes.
That's priceless that you took the time out to do that.
Right. Because all the time that you spend into the business, there's no paycheck that's going to pay you back for that time. But the honor and the kind of pride that comes with somebody coming back to your business and choosing you over your competition every time.
You can't beat it.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat that. That's not about loyalty there. That's business.
Yes.
So, but anyway, what we have here tonight, we are going to... I surprised Mustafa tonight because, this is our 8th episode. I wanted to surprise him. We're going to smoke a Lost City OpusX tonight. Now, this is Mustafa's been coming here for how long now? What, 2 years?
About
right
2 years.
And so when he first came in, his palate, it's been changing. He's been changing things up. It's been getting a little more in tune.
Yes.
He's not smoking a flavored cigar anymore. He's getting more seasoned.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And so I surprised him tonight because he does such a great job, and he's such a great guy for the loyalty of what for the castle and what he does here. I'm a giver. And I appreciate things. I know I run from store to store, sleep 4, 5, 6 hours a night, but the people who are involved here, I lose words how great it is. So tonight, I'm sitting I was at the jewelry store today. I'm like, what can I do something special tonight? And I said, hey, I got that box of Lost Cities that are sitting in the humidor, and they've been aging for what? How long now? 7 years?
So about 7 years.
This has been aging for like 7 years. And so I said, I'm going to surprise Mustafa tonight. And so that's what we're going to do. So before we light these up, give them a little bit about the OpusX, Lost City.
With the Lost City OpusX here, this is a very, very strong cigar. This is not a medium body. This is for your seasoned cigar smoker. We're going to start with, it is a Dominican everything. It's been aging for 5 years, before it even went into production. So the tobacco has been sitting and aging, seasoning itself, and getting all those great flavors, the cream flavors, the heavy cedar aroma that's going to come from it as well. This cigar, from what I've read and what I've heard about it, is one of the best out there. And Rick, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to get to try this, because I never would have gone, I never would have been able to get this without it.
No, you know, they're not a cheap cigar.
Not at all.
But you know what? Like I said, well worth every second, you know. And I know that your palate has grown.
Yes.
So I wanted to surprise you. So let's also real quick too. Like I read an article when Vegas opened up their cigar shop, their lounge out there. It was like a $3 million lounge, and this particular cigar was their first line that they were introducing. They're not easy to get. I'm going to celebrate a little bit.
Yes.
So let's fire them up.
Let's fire them up.
Let's fire it up. See what we got here. What a draw already.
And yes, I'm mixing it up today. I'm actually using a little 3-flame, soft flame lighter here. I want to make sure that I get this one perfect.
Yeah, I'm the all out guy with this torch. You know, I gotta have this torch. Like, but you know, I've been smoking for 4 and then about 10 years now, so I get pretty used to, you know, accustomed to, you know, how far the flame should go so you don't burn it out. And
Right.
the main thing is you want to make sure you have a nice, even draw as you go. How smooth is that?
That's nice.
Isn't that incredible?
That's so. Wow.
A lot of cigars sometimes, you know, when you take the draw, it's really not as smooth. It can get a little harsher.
Yes.
This thing is like cream coming through. It's very smooth. Wait till we get into it. But Lost City OpusX, we thank you for tuning in. You know, we're over here at 2666 Hamburg Street. Yeah, I know you've been emailing Mufassa, so we're going to hop right into things and take it from there.
We're going to get right into this here.
Let's get right into it.
Let's start with, I think this is going to be our ongoing theme for the entire podcast today. Let's talk about imposter syndrome and how do you get over it? Now, are you familiar with what that new terminology is for it?
Is that something new you're throwing on me?
It's a little new, but I feel like the sentiment's always been there.
I mean, I know some terms of an imposter through some other entities that I've been through. So, okay, but we won't go into that. We're gonna stay on track, because the reason why we did this, because Mufassa is definitely in tune what's going on in the 25 to 30, 35-year-old realm. I try to stay in that world, and that's why we do this. So he informs me, I inform him. You can't beat it. So fill me in, imposter syndrome.
So imposter syndrome, let me try to put it in a term that would be closer to your business. So say when you first started up your jewelry business, right? And a brand new customer came into you, started speaking to you. How did you fight that feeling inside of, who am I to be giving this advice? Who am I to be telling this person, hey, I know what's best for this position? Who am I to set such a high price for this person? Even when you've shown and you know in your heart that you've done the right things over and over and over again, you still feel that bit of you're an imposter, right?
Okay, I kind of get it. That's a deep one. I mean, the first thing that hits me is the knowledge of what you're doing. I'm not an imposter if I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
That's the way I kind of look at it. I remember when I first started, customers knew definitely more than me. There's no doubt about it. I think that would make me an imposter, right?
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes.
They know more than me, and I'm trying to fake it, kind of.
A little bit, or even that feeling of inadequacy.
Yeah, I was in the game. I had to stay in the game, and Yeah. So I understand what that imposter means now, because in the beginning you definitely are. That's why in business you have to, you got to take the shots, take the hits, keep learning. So when as the customers come in, you do take care of them, and you're not trying to be an imposter or fake them into something else.
Right.
Right? Is that what you kind of mean?
Yes. Yes.
It's a fine line there.
Mm.
You know.
Right. Versus, telling people what you do know and then a little bit extra.
Yeah. Because I can remember back in the old days, whew, the difference between a salesperson and a professional. I'm not. It's not not imposter. I that breaking of the ice when they first come in.
Right.
You know, to earn their trust.
Yes.
People are smart. People always been smart,
Yes.
but there's a lot more out there for people to know. So you really got to know your stuff. So you can't be an imposter today.
Right. Right.
Example, the cigar business 4 years ago when we turned the key here.
Mm.
I don't know every blend, every cigar, I don't know, but I was learning. But I wasn't an imposter. I knew a little bit.
Okay.
But I definitely, I listened to everybody who has the knowledge above me.
Right.
Okay? Listen to the people who have the knowledge above you, and then you'll never be an imposter. If you want to keep faking it, or you want to keep bullshitting your customers or any of that stuff, have at it.
Right.
But, knowledge is power. Like I know I said that before. I had a new guy come in last night. He was asking me all these questions about certain things. And I was able to probably answer 60% of them.
Okay.
Then I pulled somebody else in.
Okay.
Because I wanted to make sure he got the right information.
Right.
I didn't want him to go, well, geez, this guy, what the hell does he know?
Right. Right.
I don't want ever that to happen.
Yes.
All right. So if I don't know, I'm going to definitely pull somebody in until I get really, really proficient.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it. Now jewelry, come on in.
He's going to show you the imposters.
Yeah, definitely. And that industry has changed so much. Like I said, I've been doing it 36 years, especially the last 5 years, 7 years. It's changed to something that I don't like. I don't like it. I'm very not happy with the direction that things went. Diamonds and natural, and now they came out with all these lab grown diamonds. Just a really not good for me.
Right.
But they're pushing them hard this year, and you can get, they're really nice looking, no doubt about it, but they're not real. Okay,
That's it.
Period. But they are nice. You can get a really nice look. You're going to save thousands of dollars.
Right. Right.
Be able to know your market, change with your market, be able to adapt to your market.
Right.
And if you don't do any of those, you'll be out of business.
That's it. And that's really where it comes down to.
You'll be out.
So, kind of pulling it back from what I take away from it, and I can give you my example of how I feel a little bit of imposter syndrome with the business that I started up here is there are certain edits and there's certain styles and there's certain things that I know I could do, but I've never done them. So how do I confidently tell somebody I can do that?
Practice before you do it. Learn before you do it. Like, I might have said this because I only can go back from past experience. I can remember, I think it was 8th grade, I had to do a public speaking thing. And I was like out of my mind, like getting in front of everybody and doing a public speaking thing. So I practiced in the mirror the night before. How did I look, and was I coming out fluent and everything.
Right.
So you don't know what's going to happen. You can't really project it, but you can plan for it.
Okay.
As you keep growing, you get better as you go along. You got to practice before you go.
Right.
It's like actors, they read the scripts, right? They probably do a little role play before they get on screen.
Right. Right.
And be confident.
Yes.
Be confident in what you're doing. If you're not confident, the customer is going to know you're not confident.
That's it.
They're going to smell that you're not confident. And then they're going to go, well, geez, I'm going to spend all this money I want to make sure I'm with the right guy.
Right, you're spending it at the right place.
And that's what I do in both places. The cigars and the jewelry. I will make sure that the people who I talk to are knowledgeable of what they're doing. Otherwise, what good are they going to be in my business?
Right.
They're just going to slough stuff off to me? No, that's not going down that way. Because then I'm giving the product out to the customer that's not adequate.
Right.
And
the customer, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And your word is all you have.
That's all you got.
And I really appreciate that, because there's just so much information out there, and that's why I'm so happy that we're still doing this, because even now I'll come to you for some advice, but I don't want to overload you all the time, so I'll still look around and I'll still be like, okay, let me get someone else's input or someone else's take, and their takes are, here's 75% of the information that you need, go figure out the other 25 yourself.
Yeah, it's tough.
Or go pay for the subscription to get the other 25%.
Or go pay for that. I can remember I was going to be a real estate guru, right? All the books I was going to get, then I got to buy into this and buy into that. I remember one time I went to this thing, and it was crazy, because these people were writing checks, $1,500 for all this stuff, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, because I had done a little bit, and I went, wow. Yeah, they were. It wasn't good. Business is a marathon, not a race.
Yes.
You're in for the long haul. What's the hurry?
Right.
Take your time.
Right.
Like what you've done here, all the people that you met here, and then getting all inputs, and then you're going to cipher it out and work what's best for you.
Right.
Because you're not going to get the wrong information here. I can guarantee you that.
Right.
That's not going to happen. I won't allow it. I want to make sure that you get as much as you can, so you don't make the mistakes that I did 20 years ago.
Right.
All right? Because that's why he, did this, because he's going to get we all had like a mentor. I had a mentor early on.
Right.
And he was awesome. He unfortunately had a heart attack, hit a tree, and died that day. My world was crushed, because that was the guy. Like, you always have your father, but this was the guy. He was my go-to guy, right? That there was no bull crap. You were going to get it straight up.
Yes.
And that's everybody needs that, and that's what I think you get here. I think
absolutely.
I mean, you're starting up a lot of things, and all the information that you're going to get, I feel it's in the 98%, 100 percentile. Right. Not 75 like you said.
Right.
Because people will lead you on.
Yes. And they keep giving you just enough to keep going.
Here's the carrot. Whoop! It's over here now. Oh, it's over here now. I called it the dolphin. The
dolphin.
Yeah, I'm not a dolphin anymore. I'm not jumping through hoops.
Okay.
I was a dolphin for a long time, jumping through hoops. Done.
Done with that.
I'm done with the hoops.
Right.
Because first of all, you just don't have the time.
That's it.
Get to the point. Let's make it happen. Get the right people, get the right information, and then you have to act. And then you got to get it done. You can sit around. It's not going to fall from the sky. You have to go make it happen. There's no failure in my world. It's not going to happen. Right. I've made a lot of mistakes. No doubt, and that's why we do this too. We don't want you to make mistakes. Anyway, let's. What else?
That definitely answered the question. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
How's that cigar so far?
Still as creamy from the first puff all the way through where I'm at right now. This is, wow. I was expecting that to be maybe like a kind of stunt or something right on the front, kind of like with a lot of spice tip cigars. You'll get that upfront power, and then it'll slowly burn down. But no, this is still going strong. Yeah,
I get a lot of guys, they love this Lost City. So
I see why. All right, going on to the next one.
Next one.
Let's do some sales pitch practice. So, say you are just starting up or actually, How do you pitch Castle Cigars to new people?
Well, basically, when they come in, the first thing I'll say is, welcome. Thanks for finding me, and how you found me.
Okay.
And then what I'll do is I'll show them around the place,
Mm-hmm.
how Castles was built from the mind,
Mm-hmm.
what was in my head, and then I tell them all the amenities that are here. Then I get them into, like, if they're new,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just say, hey, look, if you really like that cigar, take a pic of the cigar, put it in your portfolio,
Mm-hmm.
build your cigar world,
Right.
and that's how I kind of do it.
Okay.
Keep it real simple.
Yes.
Show them around, make them feel comfortable.
Mm.
You know.
All right.
Um,
So I like that. So you welcome them in. Then what you do is you will get their input of, hey, how did you find out about me?
exactly.
You thank them for coming in
Absolutely.
up front, even if they don't get anything. You
Mhm.
thank them for coming in.
Yep.
Then you follow up with, let me show you the wares that are here and what you can do here, followed by advice on what they should be doing next or what their journey looks like going forward.
Correct. Because I have to give them vision.
Mm.
I have to give them vision in their cigar journey.
Okay.
I never really got that.
Right.
So I just kind of just was, as I was around everywhere, I was a big sponge and I just soaked it all in. And just, that's why all your competition, I don't care what business you're in, you should know what they're doing and how they're doing it. And then just do it better.
That's it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's that simple. And then, of course, I marketed
Yes.
Castle Cigars, King of the Castle. I might do it before, after you buy the cigar. It doesn't. It all depends on what's going on at that time. But I always knight you.
Yes.
I welcome you. I knight you, and it's been hilarious. It's been a great thing. I got stories that are crazy, but and when I'm knighting someone, they look right into my eyes, and it's so serious that I just love it because they know that I care.
Yes.
I think that's how I kind of thank you for coming in
Right.
and letting you know, like, wow, now you're royalty.
You're part of this family.
Now you're part of the royalty family. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
I like that.
Just be yourself.
And that's a tough part for a lot of people to go off of, because if you're just starting a business that you're really passionate about, being yourself and selling can seem like two very different things. But they shouldn't, right? You should be able to sell as yourself. Like Rick should be able to sell as Rick, Mufassa should be able to sell as Mufasa. There should be like no crossover there.
That's the imposter.
That's the imposter right there.
That's the imposter.
Yes. So that's how that imposter syndrome can kind of start up, is when you're just starting out, you're trying to be like what you've seen other places instead of, hey, I can do this better than the next guy. I promise you. That would be my pitch. That's my pitch that I use now. Is I went up to a gentleman that I have a show that I'm doing for him in November. I said, I can absolutely do that for you. I think I'm better than anybody that you have right now. I see the website that you have. Here's what I have. Do you think this is better? If so, let's make it happen. And that's exactly how I said it, word for word. And he's like, okay, yeah, let's go. Because I know you're real. He knows I'm real.
All you gotta do is be real.
Yes.
I,
And it's crazy because there's so many sales seminars and books that you can read and all these things and words that you're supposed to use and sales negotiation. And it's...
I mean, it's good if you read them. You'll pick up some things for sure. But being in there and practicing and actually doing it, I can remember when I was first behind the counter, I was like, ooh. Now it's like, okay, we go out, we take care of business, and we move along,
Yes.
and everything's good. Take a certain industry, these guys who come at you hard, and they won't let you go, and they just don't give you the room to think they're pushing you. And when they're pushing you, nobody likes to be pushed.
Right.
As soon as someone starts pushing me into something, I know something's not right.
Right. And you don't want to, like you said, you don't want to push yourself too far on people. You also want to give them room to talk. let them speak more than you do usually in a conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can actually solve any problems that they may have by listening and actually learning what their problem is. Because most of the time they don't know what they want and they don't know what they need. They just have a rough idea. Because if they knew how to do it or knew what they wanted, they wouldn't be coming to you.
No doubt about it.
Right.
And again, experience comes with experience.
And it's
waited on thousands and thousands of people. And,
no, I'm sure you have, and that's why I keep coming to you for questions and advice, because you have the experience.
I've been in every business association. I've been in a lot of things. Did I pick things up? Absolutely. No doubt. It's like building a puzzle. Here's your business puzzle. And each time you're putting a piece in that puzzle. It could be a 3,000 piece puzzle. It could be 5,000. Don't know.
Right.
But I know one thing, you never stop learning. I know that part. There's just so much all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
There's always something new. There's always someone new out there.
Like you told me about this imposter thing. I don't know, right? Right? I learned something new today. I opened my mind to, I'm not going to close it up. Oh, I know everything, and that's it. I don't. And that's what keeps everything fresh. It keeps it real. You can't go through life bullcrapping people like that. Just be straight up.
Yes.
You get that much further. I talk to so many people. They call me on the phone or they do this and that, and I know right away that it's not good. I go, look, like it doesn't sound like this is for me, but thanks for the call. And that's it.
Right.
And as you get in business and you learn and you get thicker skinned, not pushy, but just be yourself. What you take your self-worth. Your self-worth. You've been doing your business for how long now? Like,
I mean, I've been practicing it for about 6 years.
Okay, 6 years.
Yeah.
Remember when you were 6 years old?
Bits and pieces, yes.
Okay. All right. I've got 36 years in. Okay. When you get to certain levels in business, you're going to see, you're going to feel it. It's awesome. Stick with the ride.
Right.
And watch it grow. It's fantastic.
Right.
And always, I know I said this before. You're a farmer.
Yes.
Plant seeds every day. Meet somebody. Talk to somebody.
I'm glad you brought up that farmer portion, because this weekend I'm actually heading over to Troy Cyberpunk City Night Market. I believe that's the full name of it. Basically, it's a collective of artists that all come together and put out their different pieces and things like that. Me and my business partner, we're going to be over there on Saturday, getting our name out there, working with people, talking to different people. Hey, what's your style? Can you do this for us? We can do this for you. Give and take here and there. Again, putting your name out there is extremely important for people who are nobodies in lesser of a sense. We're not a big name yet. No one goes and says, oh, look, there's wave.mp on the website. No one goes directly there. They just say, oh, there's Pete and Mufassa. Right?
We all got to start somewhere.
Yes.
It takes time to build your name. It takes time to build your reputation. It takes time. Like I said, in my first couple years of business, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire. Yeah. How'd that work out for you? Money's part of business. You got to have that. But, all right, so now you're a millionaire.
Right.
Now what?
Congratulations.
All right, good.
All right, bye.
Big deal.
Right.
What about the rest of it? There's so much more. I know stories of millionaires. They started up with absolutely nothing. Pennies. That's exactly what I did. It was pennies.
Right.
But I work like I still only have pennies.
Right. And that's, again, bouncing between your life and your business. You got to run your life like a business.
Absolutely.
You can't run your life like crap and expect your business to run well.
Not going to be.
It's not going to happen.
I already tried that. Don't work. Trust me on this one. It don't work that way. Okay?
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. So you can try it, but,
we don't recommend it here.
This Sunday we just we picked up a couple of more cabinets for the castle here. And it'll implement probably like 80 more boxes of cigars. and Mustafa he said he was going to be here at 9:30. He was here. My other guy, Brian, he was here at 9:30. We got the truck. We got the cases. We came back. We finished it off. They look absolutely beautiful.
They look amazing in here.
Okay, so for 2 hours worth of work,
Mm-hmm.
you invested a couple hours worth of time,
Right.
and look what it did. That's all it takes.
Yes. And you're bringing in a lot of new brands now. Now
Yeah.
you have space to bring those in.
Right. I got great people here to help me. It's all not me. Trust me. Okay. Because if it was left all to my devices, I could probably. But I'm learning. Like I said, I'm still learning.
Yes.
Still learning.
Right. You're not going to be an imposter.
No.
You're not going to fake
No.
putting everything out there.
No. It's going to be. We're going to do our research. We're going to make sure we listen to our customers. Put in what they want.
Right.
And that's it. It's all you got to do.
So far, we went over Imposter Syndrome, went over our sales pitch, how you make it sound authentic to you, and, different voices that you can use, different ideas that you can use. And Rick just gave you a step-by-step guide of how he does it.
Just, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
when I first meet someone at the counter, shake their hand. Say, hey, thanks for coming in. Have that little touch. Hey, I'm Rick. What's your name? And then before you know it, I know everything about your whole family. I know what you had for dinner last Sunday. Okay? That's all it takes.
It's just
How
breaking
are
that
you
ice.
going to how are you going to give something to somebody if you don't even know their name? Right? Everybody goes, oh, here's my business card. Okay, and you know what happens. You walk away, you ripped it up, you threw it in the garbage, or you tossed it like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
How many people have done that? Come on.
How many of you have done that?
Right.
I know you've all done
Okay.
that.
So
I've done it.
All right.
I know how it goes.
So, but that personal touch
yes.
is always important.
I think that might even be stronger than any kind of business card that you can hand out. Or
Absolutely.
even just giving somebody your number.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
You are the business card.
I like that.
You like that,
I
right?
like that.
See, this stuff just hits me. You are your business card. That's it. Anybody can hand you a piece of paper. Hey, give me a call, or I talked to so many people. Like I met a bunch of people last week. We talked. They said they were going to do this. They were going to do that, and they really didn't do it yet. So that kind of shows me that if you didn't follow up with me, or at least a phone call or anything,
Right.
that means that it's okay that you didn't, but I know that I'm not really going to go backwards. I'm going to keep going forwards.
Right.
That's just the way it is.
Yes. Because again, your word is all you have.
That's all you got.
And if things go poorly, right? Things happen in life.
Absolutely.
But communicate that with the person that you told you were going to do something.
Yeah.
And that's been a huge shift in the way that I've done things because, again, growing up, I saw the complete opposite. It was lies after lies after lies after lies.
Right.
And nothing but lies.
Right.
I've turned into the kind of person where if I tell you I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. I don't care if it's 10 feet of snow outside. I'll get there. I'll text you letting you know I'm going to be 3 hours late because, I got to wait for the snowplow. But I'll be there. If I tell you I'm going to go do something and I'm dead tired, I'm still going to go do it.
If you can't do it, throw a text, make a call,
That's it.
put it on your list. I'm a big list guy. Never was. I fought a list left and right.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you, you put it on your list. It might take me a little bit of time, but it's on the list till it's done.
That list has changed my perspective on a lot of things. And what has it been, 9 months now since we've been doing this? That list has changed basically my life. From how I was running it 9 months ago to how I'm running it now, it's completely different.
Completely different.
And it's for the better. Better
A lot of time.
relationship with people, better communication skills, better, opening up my new business that I have now, which I keep saying out loud and I don't believe it sometimes.
But it's great. You have to keep reminding yourself that you are a businessman.
Yes.
Because it's not easy. Not everybody does it.
Right.
Everybody wants to,
Yes.
all right? But to do it, you got to, like you've been doing it.
Yes.
And you're grooming into it.
Right.
You're grooming into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said 6 years, I remember my 6 years. Whoo!
Right. I mean, it's been 5 years of me practicing and 1 year of actually being open for business.
Did we go to the Super Bowl right away? No.
Right.
How many years these teams have been there? And they always had to work. They got to practice. You got to keep
Right.
changing.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so when you go to meet a client or you go, you're ready. You don't have to get ready if you're ready.
There it is. I knew that was coming.
You knew it was
I was
coming,
waiting
right?
for it.
I know I say, and I know I repeat myself a few times, but that's what you do. You have to keep, because
Right.
our brains are consumed a lot.
Yes.
But this filing cabinet that you have up here, it's a filing cabinet, and that's why it's so important to put it on your list so you can put more in your files and keep cultivating your list.
Right.
I keep lists for both places. So I know that I got to do what I got to do. I had the podcast on tonight. Here we are.
Yes.
Okay, as busy as we both get, we're going to make sure, because when we start something, we're going to stay consistent with it.
That's it.
We might miss a day or two, or this or that, because something came up.
Right.
But we're going to make sure that we do it,
Yes.
because that's the commitment that
That's
we
it.
made
Yes.
to everybody out there,
Right.
and it's important.
Yes.
Because I see a lot of people come and go. All right, and you can't be that person.
Right.
So, all right, what else
All
we
right. And we're actually going to move right into the question section. Let's see.
got? This cigar is great.
This is it's really good. I was I'm not gonna lie, I was a little skeptical when you first gave this to me. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, all right, we'll try this out. I'm looking at the profile. I'm
this-
like, this is a heavy cigar. Oh boy, here we go. What kind of flavors is gonna
It's
pop
not
it?
bad.
This is so smooth.
It's very smooth.
It's-
I smoked the Punisher, and this is good. See, I'm gonna open my mind to other things. I smoked thousands of them, but this one here is pretty. If I don't have that Punisher, I think I could definitely go to this one.
We're gonna start with the first question. This is an interesting one. What camera systems do you recommend for HD high definition surveillance of a building? Because you have your camera system that you use at the jewelry store, I'm sure, and you use it here.
Yeah.
What systems do you use?
Well, what I do, I have a gentleman who, when I first started the jewelry business back in 1996, and this is how loyal I am. In 1996, he's still my guy today. Okay, I use Imperial Security. His name is Lou. I call, it's done, and we upgraded it as we went along. Add a little more high def, a little this and that.
Right.
I go, Lou, how we doing? Great. I got this, and that. Okay, let's try it.
Yeah.
Let's upgrade it. It's time for an upgrade and make sure everything's working good.
Right.
So security, your security cameras are very important, and you want to make sure you got the right person. I know there's a lot of them out there, and
Yes.
I've been through a lot of them out there, but I got to tell you, hands down, Lou from Imperial, just go.
Top of the line.
You don't have to. I don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
The system never failed. It's got a backup cell in case the power goes out.
Right.
All right, I can still get contacted, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Perfect. And I have a one-on-one relationship with him. I got his cell phone number. Okay. His wife came in. I reset her whole settings, made them beautiful. All right, and that's that business relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I do business with people who do business with me.
There it is.
Because it's going to go here, it's going to go there. And again, I've sent him so many people because I know that it's right.
Right.
So the high def, all that stuff, your security system, I keep it short and simple. Imperial, it's just great. Lou's great. We
Right.
call there. Kim's his wife. I knew that, huh? Because I've been with him for so long.
Right.
And I remember when I first started, I didn't know what a TL15, a TL30, all this stuff you had to have. So if I need some stuff and I need to, what I do, I don't even fill any paperwork out anymore. I go, Lou, email it to this company. They want to know about it. Done. It's done.
Right.
He's got all the information. It's right there. emails it, done.
Wow. Now, let me ask you this. So this is going to be a spin-off question to that. When you're renting out a building in a plaza, do you have to okay the security system with them?
What do you mean? Like,
So, say you were going to put some kind of security or outer security on the outside of the door that's not facing your property or facing kind of towards the street a little bit.
okay.
Do you have to communicate with the building owner that you're doing that?
No, because what happens is that the insurance company is going to make sure you have that.
Oh, okay. All right. So the insurance company is
Right.
doubling up on that.
Right. The insurance company doubles up on that, making sure, that you have a security system.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So-
they have your back in a sense of
Absolutely.
we need to have this here.
And again, that's all part of business. The ledger I was talking about.
Yes.
There's things in business, so if you ever, when you want to start a business, I'm your guy. I can help you out. I'll set you up. I know exactly what you need to do so you don't flounder.
Right.
Okay. Get you right where you got to be. And all the questions, like I said, if I can't answer them all, we're going to find someone who can.
All right. That's it right
And
there.
that's it. It's that
Yes.
simple.
Going on to the next question here. How's the vending machine business been going? All right, I will tell you right now, it's not been going well, in the sense that I have had to take my mind off of that so much to focus on the business that I truly, truly am passionate about.
You threw some spaghetti on the wall.
Yes,
You tried it.
yes,
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
that's right.
You know your passion. You know
Yes.
what you really love. Maybe something else down the road, as you grow, is going to feed off that
Yes, and that's it.
because you're getting all the experience of this.
Right.
And then if an opportunity comes up to you, you're
Yes.
going to go, I got this.
I got that.
Because you're going to feel it.
Yes.
You're going to feel it. You're going to know it.
Right.
That you said, hey, I like this.
Right.
I'm not going to go open a restaurant tomorrow. I'll tell you that right now. Okay? And that's not going to happen. Okay? Because I've seen how they work. It's a very hard industry, and I commend all the people who are in the restaurant industry
Yes.
because it's very hard. But it's not my thing. It's
Right.
not like, oh, if it was, I'd have one.
That's it.
So for you, you tried it. You're feeling things out,
Right.
and you're gonna get that one rectified, get it off the ground, let it grow, and then you can offspring as you go. What I did here, the cigars, I offsprung to the cigars. Did I know I was gonna have a cigar shop? No, but it hit me, and the people, the passion, everything about this has brought so many things to greatness.
Yes.
So now down the road, will there be something else that hits me? We're going to find out. We're going to see
That's
because
right.
I'm available
Yes.
and I listen. You never know what opportunity could come your way. If I don't feel it, that I go, oh yeah, that gets me out of bed every morning. I love it. I'm not gonna put the time into it because I know I'm not gonna really love it.
That's it.
The money, you could throw all this money at me, makes no difference.
Right.
'Cause if I don't love it, I'm not gonna do it.
Right. And that's something that I've definitely picked up from you and learned from you. Versus, again, 9 months ago, my ideologies were, I do affiliate marketing. That's how I was making a decent chunk of money. And I was putting it in passive investments that I don't have to look at. Things like, a vending machine business was going to be another one of those passive investments. I don't have to think about too much. I could hire, nephews, nieces, give them some money on the side to let them do their thing, put them on the books legally, make sure everything's clean,
That's right.
and be able to help out part of the family as well. But again, if I'm not 100% passionate about it right now, I'm not even looking at it. But what I'm doing right now with Wave.mp, I am in love with it. I go after it every single day, and I'm following up with people nonstop, probably to the point where they hate me a little bit. But
Well-
you know, I dial it back enough to where it's still a friendly communication and a conversation that we're having.
And again, like if you come on too hard, too strong, sometimes you just have to say, look, you know, I really like to help you out, but let me know.
Right. And I've kind of been using your what you say a lot, as I'm like, yeah, I know I talk a lot. You know, if you ever need to just cut me off, go ahead and take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we can rant.
Yeah.
And it's useless information.
Yes. But it's because we're passionate about it.
Right.
It's because we love what we're talking about.
Yeah. There were days where, you know, you couldn't get 2 words out of me. You know, I'd be like, right? And now I can see it in people's eyes. They really want to get going. So I cut it right there. And I go, okay, you know.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, thanks. All right, well, I know I talk too much sometimes. And, you know, they even said it to me at the jewelry store sometimes. But I'm talking because I'm still building with them because they have family.
Yes.
Okay? They have roots.
Yes.
You never know who knows who and what.
You never know what little bit of information you're going to be able to pull, or they're going to be able to pull to say, "Whoa, okay, yeah, I'm interested in that."
Yeah, and again, it might not happen the next day. It might happen a year.
Yeah.
I had a customer come in today. They live in Florida. They lived in this area. They told me they came to me specifically to get his wedding band size because they didn't trust anybody in Florida.
Wow.
How's that?
Wow.
That right there makes your whole day, your whole career.
Yes.
When someone says something like that.
Mm.
And then they're leaving next Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay? And he says, can you get it done? I go, absolutely, I'm going to get it done. All right? Because wow.
You came all the way from Florida for this.
You know, they were all visiting, but they were not going to go anywhere down there because they didn't trust anybody down there to, I mean, that's his wedding band.
Yes.
All right?
That is the most
You know?
sentimental piece that anyone can own.
Exactly. And they left it with me.
Yes.
So right there is that speaks for itself right there. And I appreciate that.
On to the next question here. This must be a social media question. How do you keep popping up in my news feed? That, ladies and gentlemen, is what's called Facebook and YouTube ads, and also Instagram ads that you see popping up there. What I'll do is I will take a clip of this podcast, something that I think is extremely important or very catchy or very, you know, something that you would be interested in, and I will go to Facebook or I will go to Instagram, and I'll throw a little bit of money in there, and I'll say, hey, you know, promote this for me. Send this out in your algorithm and prioritize it higher than you normally would. That's why you keep seeing me pop up. So, hey, hi, Facebook. Hi, Instagram.
I told you he's the techie guy, man. Like, thank God.
I get after it. When it comes to advertising, that's just what I do. I mean, affiliate marketing has put this monster inside of me that if you're not marketing every single second of every single day, then you're failing. And I've had to cut that back a little bit now, doing a more in-person business where I'm not in any kind of email chains with customers or sending them out daily messages saying, hey, you know, today is 73 and sunny. I think it's going to be a great day for golf, or anything like that anymore. But I still connect with people, and I still want to have that personal communication and contact with them that says, hey, I'm thinking about you.
That's all they want.
Yes.
It's all people, they want to be recognized. They don't want to be a number.
Right.
You know, anybody can be a number.
Right. And I would never contact or, you know, and like you said, I think it was episode 3 or 2 or 4 of the podcast where you said you don't like calling your customers clients anymore. They're more of like friends at this point.
Yeah.
Because it is cold. It's very cold to call somebody a
Starts
client.
with a C, client's cold.
Yeah, client, cold clients, cold calling. I don't want to do that.
You know, people don't want that.
Right.
They get enough of that out there.
Yes.
You know, look at the customer service that's out there. Horrible. I went to a place, and I picked up a pair of golf shorts and a golf shirt. And I'm at the counter, and I paid for it. And the kid, he was probably in his 20s or whatever. And I remember being 20. I was never like this, but anyway, he took the stuff and he just shoved it in the bag. Like, he didn't fold it and put it in the bag. Just shoved it in the bag, and I went, "Wow, that's interesting, right?"
Yeah.
And then I went and I bought a couple energy drinks, and I got the 3 on the counter, right? the guy takes the bag, he opens it up and puts it next to the thing. He wants me to bag it.
Huh?
Yeah. I went, wow.
Well-
So you kind of think like, that's kind of like,
That's new.
but that's your corporate world. That's your corporate world.
Yes.
I can be corporate, but never be corporate like that.
Right.
That's never going to happen.
Right. You could have 4 castles,
Yeah.
but it will never be run like that.
Ever, never, ever. Okay?
No.
Not going to happen.
There will be swords flying.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Because that's not, people don't want that.
No.
I went there again the other night. That particular gentleman wasn't there. There was a girl. She actually put him in the bag for me, and I was happier.
Right.
So
Took care of you.
just that 3-second thing.
Right.
All right. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to buy some more energy drinks.
It's that simple. It's something as small and minute that you do in your daily life that you may not even realize you're doing it. But keep doing the things that you believe are right, and you will see the progress, and you will see the numbers go up. And we'll go on to our last question here, which I think is actually a great question, and I'd love to hear your take on it. How do I introduce my children to finance?
Well, I remember when I was a kid, I would get an allowance because we got an allowance when we were kids.
Okay.
And we would say it was $2, $5, whatever it was. We would walk up to the street to the bank. We'd go into the bank. We'd have a bank book. They'd put it in there. I opened up the bank book and it grew by $3.
Okay.
So showing your kids that something can grow if you do this.
Okay.
Okay, you're not going to show them how to do a checkbook, all that stuff right away. All right, but just little things. My 2 guys, now that they're older, but I can remember them being 15, 16, when all this meeting people. What was the name of that thing where you met people when you sold stuff? Craigslist.
Craigslist.
Right, that was
eBay.
kind of scary in a way. But my boys would go out, and they would have sneakers or they were selling something, right? Because they saw what both me and June were doing, because we're both in business, and how you have to create it.
Right. Right.
And so they were like, huh, because I'm not going to just, here you go, hand it out.
Right.
You're not doing any favors, but introducing them to showing them how it grows. But that's how I started. It was a bank book. I took them to the bank. You got the bank book. Now, bank books, go online here.
Yes.
Here, it's in there now.
Right. Right.
Okay, because things have changed.
Yes. Yes.
We don't walk the banks anymore. We get direct deposits.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, and these youngsters, teenagers in your 20s, probably they're all online with that.
Right.
But as far as parents, definitely, show your kids, give them that allowance.
Right.
That's how I got introduced to saying, oh, wow, I got $10 now.
Yeah.
And then you set a goal.
Right.
Okay. I had a goal set, like where, okay, if you get $50 in there, I'll give you 20 of it, and you can go buy this. So you still have a little bit of money in there.
So teaching them also to keep a savings.
Correct.
And not just, hey, you have $50, go spend $50.
Right, and that's all gone.
Right. Right.
All
Okay.
right. Because like I said, been in business a long time, and if you're always behind the 8 ball, or if you overspend, or you don't budget correctly, that's no good.
Right.
It doesn't work.
Now, around what age do you think is right to start that?
Well, I was 7 years old.
You're 7. Okay.
So
Right.
I think 7, 10.
7 to 10. Right. They just
7
start
to
there.
10 in there, because they're growing into, they're going to get into their teenage years, and the faster you groom that, will be better.
Right. The better for them later on in life.
Yeah.
Now, say you were starting with, say, like a teenager, and you don't have a lot of financial knowledge yourself. Where would you go to receive a little bit of that financial knowledge so that you can teach it down? Or how would you teach that from scratch to somebody?
Well, first of all, you go to your parents.
Right.
I learned a lot through my friends. You know, out there with your friends and stuff, and you start talking to your friends. You're so green at that time. It all starts with your parents, for sure, or your grandparents.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You
Or
know,
whomever your
who's got that.
parental figures would be at that time.
Yep.
And I love the new age of things, how quick and how fast and how rapid pace everything is. But the simple things like that can get lost, and people forget to slow down. Slow it down every now and then.
Every now and then, slow it down. Mm-hmm. It'll grow.
Yes.
Be patient.
Finances, I think, are the hardest thing to recognize because we live in such a fast-paced world where you could accidentally, quote unquote, spend $1,300 in a week and just say, what happened? Versus if you only make, say, like $2,000 a week and you just spent $1,300 of that and I only got $700 left, what happened?
What happened? What'd I do?
What'd you do?
I can remember being in college, working establishment, and my parents used to make me pay rent and board.
Okay.
Right? $40 a week.
Okay.
I had to pay. Right? And I went, wow, my parents are charging me rent? What kind of joke is this? Right? But they had lights, they had food. I was living there. I was 17.
Right.
Just about to turn 18. Right? So that taught me a little bit more responsibility.
Right. Right.
You know?
And just to put it in perspective for people who are out there, $40 at 17 for you,
It was a lot of money.
that's a lot of money. But that's probably like, what, $300, $400 to us now? Probably $400.
So if I was making X amount a week, bringing a paycheck home, because I wasn't a good budgeter back then. Today everything is done by budgets. It's done by, and it's not hard. You know, you just gotta, just sit down with someone who knows,
Right.
who knows how to do it.
Right. And go to the chart that we have on our YouTube page. You can click up there, whichever side it's going to be on, and you can check out that budget that Rick and I showed you how to do in the previous episodes. It's that simple. You can do it. It's not difficult to create a budget for yourself.
Even being in business as long as I've been, I still am always trying to, how can I make it a little better, a little quicker? I know one thing that's really worked is if you're already in business and you use your credit cards, that's the key. Okay?
Be careful.
Say you have a bill that's, you just bought something for $300 and you budget into your next month because you have 30 days to pay.
Right.
You pay that $300 right away and watch how your credit score goes up. Watch how your credit line goes up.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
If you overspend it and you don't budget your paycheck into all your ledger stuff, you'll always be in the red.
That's right.
You'll be in the red.
And you don't want to be there.
No. I don't like the red. So
that $300 you're going to spend in cash on it, put it on your card.
put it on a card.
Go pay it immediately.
Pay it in 30 days.
Yes.
Put it in your ledger. Put it on your notes.
Yes.
It's due on that day. You pay it. It's a beautiful thing. That's what you groom into. Personal and business.
Yes.
If you start with your personal, now you're getting ready to go into business.
Run your personal life like a business.
Like a business. I made that mistake. No
Right.
doubt about it. Because that's what we are. We're human. We make mistakes.
Yes.
But that's why we do these podcasts, so we can give you some good information. Next year, I'm going to be, I'm up there now. I can't go back to when I was 30, where Mustafa is. But by the time he gets to my age, he's going to be sitting pretty.
That's right.
Both my boys will be sitting pretty. Because I stayed on them.
Yes.
And drilled it into them that you don't want to go through what I went through.
Right.
You don't want to do it. Too much pain.
Right.
But that was my learning curve. Everybody has a learning curve. Everybody's got to go through it to understand it. You could read all your books on it. I've taken people who had absolutely zero business, right? I have them in positions where my 4th year or 5th year in business, they're so much further ahead.
Yes.
You
give people the opportunity.
Right.
That a lot of people don't out there.
Right.
And I think that's very special. And you should be celebrated for that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you celebrate yourself enough for that, and I don't think enough people give you the credit that you deserve. You give a lot of opportunities.
A lot. Because I can't take it with me. You can't hold on to this stuff. You gotta let it go. You have to I like when I put a smile on someone's face. You know?
Right.
You know, and that no matter what it is. It doesn't have to be business. It could be
right.
Sometimes people go through a little rough time.
Right.
You know? Just a little ear opening. You never know. I had a gentleman here. He was going through a little bit of a rough time. He bought a Castle sweatshirt. Okay? He didn't have a lot of money. Okay? But he bought a Castle sweatshirt. Do you know what that meant to me? And you know what I did with that? I gave him a Castle cigar and I said, thank you. On me. Because that's how much it meant to me. That you're going to put that sweatshirt on.
Yes.
And you're going to wear it out there.
Yes.
And people are going to see that.
Right.
And they're going to go, wow, I never knew Castles. Where is that? It's beautiful. And he was so happy. And I'm happy.
Yes.
And that's how it is.
That's a successful business. That
Right.
There's no monetary value or price that you can put on that. That is something you genuinely, everyone will tell you this a million times, you have to try it. You have to do that at least once in your life where you made somebody's day. Don't record it. Don't try to put it out there for likes or clicks or anything. Just know inside your heart that you personally changed somebody's perspective on life that day.
Unbelievable. I talk to
Absolutely.
hundreds of people a day. And, you know, it's they keep coming back. So
Right.
you know you're doing something right. The gauge is how they come back.
Yes.
And they took their time out of their day to get some more information.
Yes. And now we're going to wrap this one up here. What did we learn today? We went over, Rick learned about imposter syndrome
Hey?
and the flaws that can come with that. And also, how do you overcome it? We learned that today. We went over our sales pitch. We went through a couple of very important questions. HD cameras, very important to learn. How to introduce your children into business and into finances. That is life-changing. If you can break that generation of poor after poor after poor after poor after poor to just teaching one generation what you didn't learn,
It's beautiful.
watch your grandchildren.
Yeah. That's, I know I know eventually one day I'll be a grandfather and you don't think they're going to have to listen to me. But, we'll, when we get there, but
Yes.
of course, if God willing, I'm still around, I will be able to do that.
Yes.
So they can, because what my grandparents did and their grandparents before that. So.
Yes. And that's the beauty of the podcast. Say you're not around. Turn on the podcast. Your grandpa was right there. He was telling you everything you need to know. Everything that you're saying right now is relevant to
Yeah, because this
whatever's
stuff
there.
never goes away.
This is permanent.
This is unbelievable.
This is forever.
I mean, that's your life and build your legacy. Build your legacy.
Yes.
Like I said, I never knew I was going to have a really great place of a cigar place.
Right.
This is going to be part of a legacy.
Yes.
And the day that, God forbid, people will know that what was built both places,
Yes.
that you can do it.
Absolutely.
You can do it. Don't know what age.
Nope.
Some people get it sooner, some people get it later. I know people in their 70s can still do it.
That's right. I've seen some of them come in here.
Right.
They are. I think some of them are pushing 80 almost.
Yeah. And they're rocking it out. I had a gentleman come in. I talked to him probably a few months ago. He actually came into the jewelry store and we were talking about cigars a little bit because after we get done whatever, and I'll always throw it out there. I said, one day I'd love to be on the cover of the Aficionado, So as it turned out, I was back here. I was doing some paperwork. And the guy comes in, he goes, "You got a few minutes?" I go, "Yeah." It's his nephew who's the general manager of Aficionado. Okay, so he comes up to me and he hands me a cigar. He goes, "This is from my nephew." He goes, he wanted to make sure I personally gave this to you. Now, that's a seed. Okay.
Yes.
Now, will it happen? I don't know.
Maybe.
But you know what? If it does, if I ever made it to the cover of Aficionado, it would be a great story.
Yes.
Because coming from nothing in your life, okay, and building it to this, that's what we do.
Yes.
A little at a time. So that was pretty exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that
Wow.
was amazing that he said, you got to make sure you give this to Rick.
Yes.
And so that was great. So, yeah. You know, I tell it on the podcast because I don't really, you know, we get so busy out here and stuff. So, you know, that's why these podcasts are important because you're going to get a lot more information out here and you're doing certain things or whatever. And you don't have a lot of time to really
Right. Be personal.
share that
Yes.
experience
Right.
with
Right.
that. But imagine that. So you never know. If it happens, it'd be great. If
Yes.
it doesn't, it's okay too.
Yes.
But nothing venture, nothing to gain again.
That's right.
You know.
Hey,
So
if anybody deserves it, you deserve it.
that'd be
100%. Because you would cherish that more than I think anybody else that's on that cover.
yeah. Who am I different from all the stars?
There's that imposter syndrome.
Okay, I was reading the thing on Tom Cruise today, right? And I always liked Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was the kind of guy. I read his bio when he was a younger kid. They didn't have a lot of money, and then you know when he did the risky business, that's what really catapulted him.
Really?
You know, that movie. Then it went to Top Gun. Then it went to all those other ones, whatever they are.
Right.
But I really commend him because he came from nothing. All right, and I would like to meet him one day.
Yes.
You know.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, because I think he's just kind of a classy guy.
Yeah.
To be a star like that and to keep your life together
Right.
is huge. You see a lot of people go to the wayside. They get too much money. They go to the wayside.
Right.
I don't care how much money you get. You're still you.
That's right.
Okay, you're still you.
That's it. At the end of the day,
No
you're
matter what
only
happens,
you.
you're still you.
That's right.
You know. So.
Tom, you're always
But-
invited on the podcast anytime you want to
Yeah,
come by.
Tom Cruise. Anytime you,
Yeah.
geez, we love to have you at the castle, man.
Come on into the castle.
You know, like I said, that movie Risky Business, I'll never forget it when it first came out. That was the most ultimate movie, awesome. You know, when especially I remember that crystal that got thrown and it was his mother's heirloom or something, and he dove and he caught it, right? I'll just parts of that movie were just really sharp. You know, and again, Top Gun was the really quite a movie too.
There's a reason it took over the country.
Yeah.
That was
classy stuff. That's what we like to keep here. We like to keep it up and
yes.
move in and classy and
That's right.
go from there.
That's it. And thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Cigars at the Castle podcast. This is
thank you.
episode 8. Again with amazing cigar here. This is
What do you think of this bad boy?
this is I love this thing.
This
Woo.
is good.
This is
It's an OpusX, and OpusX is noted for a very strong, but this blend, I'm feeling it, but it's so smooth and it's so
Yes.
relaxing.
yes.
That it's
Relaxing is the best way to put it.
great. Yeah, it's
A lot of them kind of get in your head if you smoke a very strong cigar.
Yeah.
Where if you didn't eat earlier or you didn't do the right things or you're inhaling it on accident, you'll have problems later on. You'll get that cigar sickness, and we'll talk about that in a separate short. We'll have that soon.
We'll have someone on here for maybe some cigar etiquette and
Yes.
some more in depth on cigars.
Yes.
We kind of just fire one up and make sure that we're relaxing and be able to talk to you and enjoy a nice stick. We don't get a lot of time together.
That's
When
right.
you come in, I know you're doing your thing and then I'm doing my thing. We don't sit down like this.
Right.
But at least we know
Yes.
once a month
Once a month.
we got this.
We're going to come back. We're going to do this.
We got this.
Yes.
And who knows next month what we might smoke. You never know what I might throw out.
Oh, boy. Now I got to worry about him. He's going to get me on a Punisher one of these times. Maybe that'll be episode 10 or something.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see.
Getting him with this was okay, but he's been building up his palate.
Yes. Yes. I can appreciate this cigar. If you gave this to me
Right.
9 months or a year ago, I wouldn't even know what this is. I'd be like, okay, it's a cigar. Yeah, I smoke it. But after I would say probably hundreds of cigars that I've smoked now, this is it. It's unreal how smooth it still is, and that's a word that I won't use for another cigar after this, and I don't think I can. Every draw is just it tastes
Right.
like cream,
Yeah.
like a cream, and then you just
and
blow
the
it.
smoke is so, it's not harsh at all.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, I've had some, pop up into my eyes during this podcast. I usually am just tears watering. No, it's just smooth.
Yeah, top of the line.
Yes.
All right, brother, we
All
set?
right. Yes, we're all set.
We thank you again for tuning in.
Yes.
We're at 2666 Hamburg Street.
Right.
You can reach Mustafa online here because he is the techie guy.
You can find me on Instagram. Find us at Cigars at the Castle on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and on TikTok. You can also send a email into Cigars at the Castle Podcast or Cigars at the Castle Podcast at gmail.com. Send that in, and we'll get to any of your questions that you have. Feel free to ask anything. It's not just business topics. It's anything you want to ask. Go ahead and ask it down there in the comments below here on YouTube and Spotify as well.
Perfect. Till next month.
Till next month.
Okay, brother. Thank you very much.
As always, thank you.
All right.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite.